Listen, alcohol is just out in 2024. There is a rising trend of going alcohol-free or being sober curious, and alcohol, the truth is, it's just bad for you and can famously impair your sex life. So if you're looking for another way to unwind, relax, or just have fun, I cannot recommend Via's THC gummies enough. Via has gummies for every occasion. Whether it's to improve your sleep, I love their sleep gummies. I take them everywhere. Your mood or your focus. They even have an aphrodisiac gummy called High Love to boost my arousal levels. High Love has a unique blend of cannabinoids and aphrodisiac exotic herbs that are known for their libido enhancing effects. So I've been using Via for a while now, and I absolutely love them. They're a super trusted company. They use premium hemp, natural ingredients, and they're known for their premium indoor THCA flower. All their products are made here in the US. They got quick and discreet shipping to all 50 states so you can all enjoy them, not to worry. And also super affordable. So head over to viahemp.com and use code Emily at checkout to save 15% off your order. That's VIIAHEMP.com. Use code Emily at checkout for 15% off your order and let me know what you think. Urinary tract infections are extremely common. Around 1 in 2 women and 1 in 20 men will get a UTI in their lifetime. Plus, once you've had one UT challenge, you're way more susceptible to another in the future. That's why you just need Just Thrive's UT123. This product can actually prevent UTIs while maintaining your urinary tract health. UT123 targets both immediate and long-term relief. We've all heard to drink cranberry juice for your urinary tract, but did you know that for the full effects, you need the whole cranberry? Not just juice, but the skin, flesh, and even the seeds. Well, UT123 uses superior ingredients that utilizes the whole fruit. This supplement truly is the full package. So if you're someone who struggles with the constant urge to urinate, a burning feeling when you pee, pelvic pain, or just want to be proactive in your urinary health, Just Thrive is for you. Just Thrive is so confident you'll love their product that there is a 100% money-back guarantee on every purchase made through justthrivehealth.com. And for a limited time, you can save 20% off site-wide at justthrivehealth.com with promo code SEXWithEmily. That's justthrivehealth.com and use code SEXWithEmily for 20% off your order. You're going to love it.
Have you guys heard my news? I have a new sex gig. I'm not a porn star. It's better. I just launched my new premium skincare brand called Emily and Tony. These products are tried and true to help spice up your sex life, which is what I'm all about. I'm talking about massage oil candles that are 1 part candle, 1 part body oil, and check out these flavors. They come in delicious scents like creme de vanilla, cocoa, and fougere. And they're hydrating, and they leave your skin feeling super luxurious. We even have a product for the guys called Down Under Comfort that helps keep their balls smelling fresh and clean and dry all day, which is exactly what you want, right? So guys, if you take care of your balls, your partner will take care of you. So help us keep this podcast free. Use code Emily to get 20% off your first purchase at emilyandtony.com. Trust me, you'll love them, and you're welcome.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information, go to sexwithemily.com. But you can listen to all of our podcasts. You can go to iTunes, which is really easy to do, or Podcast One. You can listen to it on your phone. It's so easy. Wherever you go, I've got hundreds of shows for you to listen to. If you're just a new listener and joining us, subscribe. And then every time you get a show comes up, you'll know. Also, go to my website, sexwithemily.com. Sign up for our mailing list because I send you really cool emails. They're not annoying emails. They're the kind of emails you're like, oh, cool. This is actually informative. I will use this to improve my sex life and relationship, and I might get a discount on a sex toy or something. So anyway, you'll like them, and we give you funny stories and stuff like that. So yeah, sign up for our mailing list. We would love that. And follow me on Twitter and Facebook, Sex with Emily, because I also answer your questions on Twitter, which is actually kind of easier for me, like 140 words or less. Like, people ask me questions. This woman the other day, Anderson, she emailed me and she said that her boyfriend's penis, this is so funny because, you know, like people, like, it's like everyone can see her Twitter. And she said, Emily, my boyfriend's penis is too big and it hurts when we have sex. And what do I do? And she's like, I don't know what to do. And I said, lube, go slow, women on top, position, you can control it. And then that's all I said. How to put her words less. Because that's like what you tell people when he has a big penis. And the next day she was like, oh my God, totally helped my sex life. I feel like
By the way,
what?
That wasn't her. That was him.
No.
Stealing her phone and tweeting for
right,
her.
that my boyfriend has a big penis.
Yeah.
No, a lot of women, you always hear about the guys with the small penises, but seriously, there's guys who
working on Loveline, we get way more complaints from the ladies about too big than too small.
Exactly. Lube. You can never be too rich, too thin, or have too much lube, as I always say. How have you been, Anderson? I've been good.
How was NY?
I missed you. In New York was amazing. There was 2 blizzards. But it was fun. It was Valentine's Day week. I feel like I feel like Santa Claus. It's like my week of the year. So I did a bunch of press and I was on like Fox News. I did a panel for Match.com with Patty Stanger and Perez Hilton. Perez Hilton. And we answered a lot of questions. And there's a new poll that came out.
Those are 2 ball busters right there.
I know. I could barely get a word in edgewise. I'm like, I'm usually the talker. But it was great. If anyone wants to check it out, we're going to be doing a blog about it too on my website. And I also write for Patty Stanger on her website. But it was interesting. There was a lot of facts about like single people in America and lots of bloggers and people there. It was fun. And but it was a really long trip, 2 weeks, and I got sick again, as you can tell.
We missed you. Yeah,
I missed it here. Because I do Loveline after this. Loveline, if you guys want to download it, it's a nationally syndicated show, but it's also a podcast. You can listen to it. I do it after this with Dr. Drew. It's super fun. And but it was good. But the reason I was late, I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late, but I was on the phone. Okay, so does this ever happen to you? I was traveling. I was in New York. I was there for 2 weeks, right? And I travel sometimes, like not every month. My goddamn cell phone bill, I went over, right? Because some months I use a lot of data, right? Because you're traveling and you're always on your phone.
And it's so hard to keep track of the goddamn data.
I know. So I went over, but like I haven't gone over in a while. And then I got dinged because I didn't know. And I ended up paying. It was like my bill was like, it's going to be like $175 and I couldn't get them. So then I heard about Ting. I've talked about Ting before. And I go to Ting and they've got the most amazing thing. So this like savings calculator. I'm such a geek. I'm not even a geek, but it's so, first of all, their website's beautiful. You go to emily.ting.com and savings calculator. So what you do is you go there. I put in my login and my password to my current cell phone plan. And there's like, and it calculates exactly how much I'll save.
Did it make that sound?
No, but in my brain it did.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, I could save $85 a month. Just switching to
I did the
Ting.
same. I did the exact same thing, and then I have fun with it, and I start doing like the math, and I'm like, how much am I going to save a year?
Yeah.
How much will I save in 10 years? And I'm like, next thing I know, I'm like trying to buy a boat for myself. 'cause
Exactly.
of the money that I save.
I'm like, buy a house, I'll be like saving like $900, and it's so cool. And the other biggest thing about them, which freaked me out, is this is what I was figuring out, because I'm always confused with the data. They said the more data you use, the better rates you get. So if your usage, like if it varies, like 1 month I'm traveling and 1 month I'm in the office all the time, so I don't need it. It varies and there's no problem and they don't charge you more. So they bill you according to what you use. I'm like so rock. So even if like people are like, I like my cell phone plan, just friggin' go to emily.ting.com and just do the savings calculator because it'll like rock your world. They have like a great website. It's easy to use. They answer the phone when you call. I just love them. And I don't understand, like, you can get a Sprint phone. Like, if you have a Sprint phone, you can get one on eBay for really cheap and just use their plan and save so much money.
If you don't do Ting, and I'm not, this sounds like a line, but if you're not using Ting, you are overpaying for sure. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, I feel raped from my phone company.
Really,
no, I do. I feel like
really
every month because I can't deal with it. I'm busy. So if you guys want to try, just check out the savings calculator. You don't have to, emily.ting.com, and you will save $25 on your device purchase or get $25 in a Ting service credit to use towards your monthly bill if you buy a Sprint phone. And I'm telling you, just check it out, emily.ting.com, because I'm like freaking out. And that's why I was late, because I was on the phone with my current plan yelling at them and they wouldn't reduce it. And I'm not happy. But now I know about Ting.
Did you talk to someone from another country?
No, I did. Yes, I did.
Yes.
And Ting, they answer on the first ring. I'm like, is this for real?
I think that's one of my favorite things about Ting is when I called over
first
there.
ring.
Yeah.
And then they emailed me a person named Susan, like not even like customer service. She was like, how'd it go? And like answered, and then she emailed me right back. Like, I'm in love. Okay, so anyway, that was my day. But anyway, yeah, New York was fun. I'm happy to be back here though. I grew from Michigan. You thought I could handle the blizzards. I'm just not.
Well, you're a very wafy little lady.
I'm a wafy chick.
Yeah. Hey, who's this sexy wafy chick you got in front of you?
Oh, we've got Skin Diamond here.
Hello.
Hi, Skin Diamond. She is so sexy and beautiful. And Skin Diamond, when I first met you at the XBiz Awards.
Yes.
But I've known about you because you were also at AVN Awards and you won, like, what didn't you win? So she's a porn star, a nude model, born in the United States, raised in Scotland. And you won this year. Okay, so you've been nominated for 12 AVN Awards, 6 XBiz Awards, 5 Urban X Awards, and XBiz Best Supporting Actress, Best Surprise Female Performer of the Year. Check her out, skindiamondvip.com. She's super hot and sexy. And my assistant Kelsey's here. She came. She never comes here. Like, I've been trying to get her to come because it's late, and she came tonight because she wanted to talk to me.
Oh.
Everyone wants to talk to me. And
so
people are calling in
special.
tonight, too. So I do my show every Thursday at 8:30, 9:30, and people can actually call in. What's the number again?
You asking me?
I don't know. It's something. Look at my
It's
website.
1-800-LOVE-191.
Oh, yeah,
which is the same number as Loveline.
1-800-LOV-191. And 8:30, 9:30 Pacific Standard Time, you can always call in and talk to our guests. So, okay, Skin Diamond, beautiful woman. Tell me everything. Okay, so you were raised in Scotland, but your parents were missionaries?
Yes. I moved to Scotland when I was 3, and I lived there for 20 years.
20 years. Wow. Okay.
It was pretty amazing. I actually really love Scotland, even though I got bullied a lot when I was in school because I was so different.
Right.
How
were you different?
Well, because, I mean, there's not a lot of people of color there.
Right.
So I was
Very
usually
white.
like the only black girl in my school.
Right.
And, you know, like being an American, that's also something that's different. So I used to get bullied for that.
Right.
And
You got
I was
bullied?
a total Jesus freak too. So,
Oh, because your parents. Okay. So
yeah.
When did you, are you still a Jesus freak?
I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual, but I don't believe in organized religion. I think it's too corrupt.
Okay. So how did it affect you, excuse me, growing up? Like you were into it, and then what was the turning, the turning point?
I remember very vividly. I had just finished horse riding with a friend, and her stepsister was in my class, and they were like part of the bad kids, you
Right.
know, like the kids that would listen to metal and smoke, and we would go behind the garages and smoke cigarettes at school or whatever. And I remember thinking, I'm going to not be a Christian just for a little while and see what it's like.
Right.
And then I ended up never looking back after that. Not that there's anything wrong with
No judgment.
Christianity.
Exactly.
But it's not for
But
me.
you got to choose it, so you were raised with it, and then you choose. I think that's what we all do. We're raised with certain parameters, whatever goals our parents have for us, if it's religion or whatever, and then you grow up and you decide what works for me and what doesn't.
But my parents are really, like, a lot of people ask the question, like, oh, well, what do your parents think about what you do? And you know what? My parents are so cool about it. Like, my mom's always been, like, my best friend. And I told her when I first started stripping and whatever. But they're so cool about it. They even came to the AVN Awards and met my agent, and because they had me on a billboard outside the Hard Rock, so my dad was there taking photos. It was really cute.
That's so cool. Are they still very religious though?
I mean, they're religious, but they're not. They're like me. They're spiritual and they believe in it and everything, but they just don't like the corruption of the church.
Right. Which is how a lot of people feel. So I love that they support you.
Yeah, they're
That's
really
good.
awesome.
It makes such a difference in the world. My parents support me. Everyone's like, what do your parents think of what you do? I'm like, they're fine. I'm making a living talking about sex. I'm helping people, right? And
I feel really lucky because a lot of girls that do this, I've heard horror stories of girls being disowned and cut off from their families entirely. And I'm really blessed to have such an amazing family that have stood by my decisions, even if they don't, it's not the path that they would have chosen for me, of course, but they can see that I'm happy and level-headed.
You know what's strange, though, is they actually blindly support you because it's not like they can watch your work and say you did a really good job there.
Do they watch? I wonder.
No,
they won't watch. They don't want to watch any of your hardcore scenes.
I mean, my mom like if she sees like naked photos of me or something online, she's like, oh well, I just won't look at that one. But she's really cute about it.
Totally, that's good. I love it. So, what was like the defining moment in your life when you were like, I'm going to get into porn? You started with stripping, or how did you? Was that how it started?
Well, I first started. I started nude modeling when I was 19. I wanted to model for Suicide Girls originally, and that was where the name Skin came around because I was going to be Skin Suicide.
Okay.
But then I ended up not modeling for them. I modeled for this other company called God's Girls, which is kind of similar but cooler. Anyway, and so I did that for a while. Then I got into fetish modeling. I used to go to Torture Garden in London all the time and model in the fashion shows there.
Cool.
And I dated fetish fashion photographers, and my shoots started getting more and more naughty.
Right.
And like I was like treading into girl territory, and a company that I had posed for, Burning Angel, approached me asking if I wanted to shoot a hardcore sex scene.
And I was like, well, I'll shoot a girl scene, and I was going to go to Paris. So I'm like, I of course want to go to Paris.
Right.
And I ended up having so much fun on that trip. I stayed an extra week and shot my first boy-girl scenes, my first anal scene.
Oh my God. The first movie you did, or the first few scenes?
Yeah.
Wow. You were just like, I'm in it.
Well, because when I did it, I wasn't really thinking that I was going to be a porn star.
Right.
I was just doing it because I wanted to try it, and I figured if I don't like it, I never have to do it again.
Right.
And I'm already getting naked all over the internet, so I mean, might as well
have sex, right?
Take the jump. And I ended up really enjoying it, and I didn't do it again for like a year or something. It wasn't until I moved to LA that I started doing it full time, and I got my agent.
Okay.
And that was when everything went crazy.
Okay, so tell me, when you did your first girl tour, are you with men and women?
Yes, I identify as bisexual.
Okay, so had you been with women growing up, or was it more for porn and then you were into it after you did it?
I've always been into girls. I think before I even realized I was into girls, I remember seeing like a naked woman when I was quite young and feeling turned on and being like, oh, this is weird. Right. And I like had the biggest crush on Jessica Rabbit growing up, and
right, the first one, right?
But yeah, I love guys too. So
right, I got it. So that's good. So are you in a relationship right now?
I mean, I'm dating, but I'm not in anything serious.
Right, got it. So yeah, so your scenes that you do, so you've done a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. So and so that first thing, so what would you say right now are the best and worst aspects of doing porn?
I think the best aspect is the freedom that I have. I can pretty much just do whatever I want now because I make a lot of money. I can make a lot of money very quickly because, for every scene I'm getting like $1,000, whatever. So like if I'm shooting like 9 times a month, then that's a lot of money. That's a lot more than working 9 to 5.
Right.
But I think of course the orgasms.
Right. Do you always have orgasms?
I do. I come really easily. It's like my pussy was made for porn.
Oh my God, you're so lucky.
But the thing that I dislike about porn, it's not the porn itself, it's the stigma that can come with it.
Right.
You get branded as this type of person when you do porn, and everyone assumes that porno chicks are crazy drug addicts and sex addicts, and I'm actually I feel like because sex is my job, I actually have sex less in my personal life because I'm pickier. I'm not just gonna screw anybody because I'm like I can get paid.
Right, exactly.
I do really well. So yeah, that's the bias that comes with it.
Exactly. No, there definitely is a stigma to it. I understand. Same with what I do. People are like, they made me sex with Emily, they think I'm wild in bed or whatever. And not that I haven't tried a few things here and there, but I'm not what people would necessarily think sex with Emily, the whole thing. I get that. So tell me about, so with women, you're with women. I always like to ask women, bisexuals, women who've been with a lot of women, what you find, is there anything when you hook up with women, any good tips that you have, like oral sex tips about going down on women? I feel like women know best.
Oral sex tips, I think taking it slow, lots of teasing, not kissing around the pussy.
Right.
And because then and biting the inside, just little nibbles and stuff. And just taking things really slowly. It's not a race. You can take your time to explore. If you're doing something and she makes a noise, then keep doing it.
Keep going with the noise, right? She's moaning. That's a good thing. Doesn't mean she's hungry.
Yeah,
right.
I think it's just taking your time and enjoying it.
And because then you feel, and when you're with men, do you feel? I'm sure you're probably with men who are more experienced in porn, but in real day-to-day life, do you find that men a lot of times? I was trying to say this to my guy friend the other day. He's like, "What do you mean guys aren't good?" I'm like, "There's a lot of men who just don't." They don't get oral sex. They try, or either they're not into it, or they don't really know what they're doing. I think that because every vagina is different, so you have to learn. You have to pay attention. You have to focus on: is she moaning? Is she moving? How's her body changing? And they just don't pay attention to it at all.
Well, it's even guys. Every guy likes it a little different,
right?
Too.
Same.
So I think that's the key. You have to take it slow because you have to read the person and figure out what they like, and then once you know. Then you can just the next time or whatever, you can just go for it. But especially the first time, it's so. That's why I love sex, because it's different with everyone.
Right.
So it's always new. It's always fresh.
Exactly. And it should constantly be that way. That's what, I'd say one of the main points I make on the show over and over again is that your sex life should be expansive if you're especially in a committed relationship. It should be something that's constantly growing, that you're challenging each other, and you're doing new things, and you're raising the level. And I don't mean raising the level to craziness. I just mean you're trying new things, and it's exciting, and it's like this beautiful thing. And so many people have so many troubles with it, and they just kind of get stagnated. And it is a beautiful thing, and we're all like, we wouldn't be here without sex. It's a miracle.
I think one of the easiest ways to figure out is like just dirty talk. Now I know the guy that I'm dating, like he really wants to have a threesome because like I'll talk to him about it during like when we're together and be like, oh, so you want to see me in like buried in another girl and he loves it. So now I'm like, well, now we have to have a threesome.
Are you going to?
Yeah, I'm going to find one of my porno friends.
Oh my God, that's his
dream.
I
know so many.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's never done it before.
Be hard. He's never had a threesome.
No.
So you'll be his first.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so fun. Do you like having threesomes?
I do. I think they're always a little bit trickier though, because there's the danger of someone feeling left out.
Exactly.
So I actually prefer orgies because then there's more people to play with. If somebody's feeling left out, you can be like, oh, well, I'm going to go over here. And
right, exactly. No, it is true. It's so true that I always say it's almost better when you have a threesome if you're not all attached. Like if it's a couple and then you bring someone else in,
it can be
so tricky because you're like, who's going to cuddle with at the end of the night, or who's going to finish off, or I mean, there's a lot. I mean, that's just one of the minor things, but it is true that it can get sticky. Like couples who think we're going to have a threesome and it's going to save our relationship. No. You have to have like a really solid ground, really great communication before you bring in a third partner. So I want to go back to orgasm quickly because I don't. I orgasm, but not as quickly, and I'm very envious of people like you. So have you always, like, when did you start masturbating?
I remember masturbating with, remember those little hair braiding twisty devices that you would get?
Yes.
I remember masturbating with that because I would turn it on and it would vibrate a little bit. So I'd use the handle.
How did you know though? Like how old were you?
I was young. I must have been like, I don't know, like 11
right? And you just knew that because
I was I saw something I maybe shouldn't have at a very young age. So I already had the want for sex.
Right.
Yeah, but I just like, I remember the first time I like masturbated with just my fingers and like I had an orgasm and I was like,
time?
and I was like, oh, was that it? Because I wasn't sure. I mean, when you first,
you don't know. So is it clitorally or G-spot or everything you orgasm?
It's a little bit of everything. I don't know. I have really strong Kegel muscles too.
Right. Do you do your Kegel exercises?
I've been doing those since before I knew what they were.
Wow.
So like maybe 7. Because I would, when I was young, I used to have this weird complex about peeing, and I would always hold it because I'd be playing or whatever, and I didn't want to go. So I would, but by holding it, I was like strengthening my Kegel muscles, and then I noticed that if I needed to pee and I worked my Kegels, I could actually have an orgasm without having to touch myself. So like I'd be on the bus or whatever, just like silently.
Right, silently, really, really happy bus ride home.
Yeah.
Well, Kegel exercises are so important if you don't know what they are. I have an iPhone app actually called Kegel Camp.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
every day it pops up on your phone. There's like a little reminder, and it says you can set it any time of day, and it's 5 minutes a day, and it's my voice that walks you through it, and there's 20 levels. So people get to, they get harder and harder levels, and people get to level 20, and like men, women, and they have stronger orgasms because of it. And I'm like, everyone needs to do it. Like they don't understand, but I love that you naturally did it. So you're just naturally born for this. It's true. Do you do them during sex?
Yes, I do. That's how when I'm working, if the director is like, okay, we need you to have an orgasm, usually the girls have to fake it because, I mean, who can come on command if you're a woman?
Right.
But for me, it's a lot easier because I can just work my Kegels and I can kind of force myself to come.
Exactly, which is a great tip for women. If you do have a hard time orgasming during intercourse, I'm telling you, download my app or just do it yourself. I think just the thing about my app that's unique is that it reminds you because they say do them at a traffic light, do them where we go, and no one remembers. So it's
I'm doing mine right now.
Right, like time for Kegel Camp, and it's just 5 minutes, and you will see like within a month that you are having stronger orgasms, and you can do it during sex. But for me too, when I feel like it's coming, but it's, when you feel like you're about to orgasm and you're not, like I just do my Kegels and it's like boom and it happens. So Big
You know what
fan.
else is a really
What?
good trick?
Tell me.
I do this accidentally. I hold my breath when I'm coming, but it's almost like a form of breath play, because when you're lightheaded because of the air deprivation, it makes the orgasms feel even cooler.
Oh, wow. That's a good one. I like it.
So,
because a lot of women hold their breath the whole time they're having sex, and I often think that prevents them from having orgasm, but you do it right before.
Yeah, I do it as I'm coming, and which is why I think I'm always so out of it after sex, because
Right.
I'm like,
Right. You're like,
I come so many
can
times.
you multiple orgasms?
I always do. It's weird. I'm very, very lucky.
During
I
intercourse?
realize that I'm
I know,
very
yeah,
lucky.
like I kind of want you to leave right now. But so do you ever use sex toys?
I pretty much use a Hitachi religiously. I actually just recently broke mine. I need to get a new one because I use it so much. But I think every woman should invest in a Hitachi. They're like $40.
Right.
And there's 2 settings. You plug it in, but it is the best vibrator
It is the best vibrator
ever. And you can
Right.
get the attachments
The
for
attachments are amazing. I love. They've been sending me the attachments, so
so good.
I know, like the rubber ones. You can do the G-spot thing. It's like, oh my god, it's like a million different things, like Legos. You just keep building onto your Hitachi. Yeah, you guys have all heard me talk about it. It's actually not called Hitachi anymore. It's now just called the Magic Wand. Hitachi went away, but it is the Magic Wand, and you can go to sexwithemily.com/goodvibes. Use coupon code Emily, and you get 15% off your purchase. And I just say, I mean, I have a lot of great toys on that page if you go there, but Hitachi, every woman. I mean, I have it like permanently plugged in.
Me
Like,
too.
I don't even right
Right next to my bed.
Me too. Always, it's always there. In my last house, people who have listened to the shows told me, have heard me say this, but I had a nightstand, and it was like a smaller, older apartment. I couldn't get. And I didn't know the plugs everywhere, so I drilled a hole in the back of my nightstand so I could plug it into the wall. It was like an old night. It wasn't like that nice piece, but still, so it's always plugged in, ready to go. But it is true. The Hitachi's like it's the sure thing because it just happens in like 3 minutes, and it's amazing. And I can have like multiple. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh god, I'm late. I'm like, having so many orgasms. So I'm wondering if now that you are a porn star, do you think is the experience of having sex now different from when before you were a porn star?
I think it's definitely changed because I feel more experienced because I've gotten to experience a lot of things that I would have never experienced had I not done porn, like crazy BDSM things that maybe I wouldn't have felt safe doing, but because I know that I'm working with professionals, I'm in safe hands, so they can get crazy. But I think I just I know good sex better. Like, I know that its passion is everything. Whereas, you know, when you're young, you're just like, I want it hard and fast all the time. But now it's it's different. It's a little bit like, I actually don't mind it when it's slow and romantic
slow is nice.
too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I always tell you just got to mix it up. It is true when we're younger. It's like jackhammer.
Yeah, because you want it. You're like, it's a race to have an orgasm, and now it's more like, no, I want to take it slow and really
sensual.
enjoy it. Savor
I love
it.
to like make out when I'm having sex sometimes in the middle, the whole thing.
Oh, the whole time. I love kissing.
I love kissing too. It's so intimate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really like heightens everything that you're doing. So I think that's great. Slow it down. So your sex, so it is better now. And I feel like same with me. Like since I've been doing the show, like I feel like I've learned so much more. Like how can I have bad sex? You know what I mean? Sometimes I do, but only once with someone. So would you say if you could direct your own porn scene, if you were a director, do you ever want to direct maybe?
Maybe. I mean, I've thought about it. I've always thought that maybe I wasn't ready myself to be in charge, but I'm actually leaning more towards wanting to direct now. I direct stuff for my website.
Okay.
So that's like my
Tell me your
little
website
teaser.
again.
It's skindiamondvip.com.
Hot videos and everything. People should check it out. Pictures,
it's pretty
videos.
naughty.
It's awesome. So what would go down in your dream porn scene?
Well,
Skin Diamond's fantasy porn scene. What happens?
I
Who's
like
there? What's
pretending
happening?
I'm a kitty a lot.
Really?
I have this thing. It's like puppy play, but it's kitty play. And I have a kitty butt plug tail that has a pink bow on the end and a bell, and then I have matching ears and a collar.
Oh, that's so sexy.
So,
is that on your website? Can people see you with the kitty butt plug?
Actually, that the scene that won AVN was my blow bang scene, and it was all my idea. I was super excited that it won.
Oh my god! So you kind of did direct it.
Yeah.
Really? So what? Okay, tell me about the scene.
So it was a blow bang. To those that do not know what a blow bang is, it's like a gang bang, only it's all oral sex. So I think there was like 9 to 12 guys. Who remembers these
9 to 12 guys and you?
And I was the kitty, and it was my idea to pretend to be a cat the whole time while I'm, getting banged in my face. And then, and then at the end, they all came in a little kitty bowl. And then I lapped it up like it was milk.
That's
and
hot. Wow,
it was really
is a
fun.
really creative scene.
It was super fun.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it won.
That's amazing that you did just direct. You literally, that was your idea. Were you like, hey, director, come here, I got this idea?
Yeah, because I already had, because I'm into kitty play in my personal life. So I already had all this stuff. And I was like, well, wouldn't it be really cool to do this scene where I'm a cat and it's a blow bang and instead of milk, it's cum.
That's really sexy.
So check it out. It was my Elegant Angel movie entitled Skin.
Okay, Elegant Angel. People can find, where can they find that? Just
ElegantAngel.com.
Okay, that's cool. So what award are you most proud of that you've won in the porn? Is it that one?
That's definitely in the top one. The movie for Elegant Angel actually won 3 awards in total. I also won Best Double Penetration Sex Scene, and the movie as a whole won Best Gonzo Release at XBiz. But I also won Female Performer of the Year at Urban X Awards last year.
You did? What was that for, your Female Performer of the Year?
Well, that's basically just like the highest award for porn girls. It's like, like
just for everything that you've done this year. Right. That's a big friggin' deal. And you're in LA, this area. Okay, do you ever go to any of the like sex clubs in LA or parties here, or do you just...
Not so much anymore. I used to go to fetish clubs a lot in Europe, but see, I'm spoiled, and the fetish clubs here, I'm like, they're not as good.
I know, because you have it all. That's so true. I'm just curious because I'm actually doing a segment tomorrow for television. They're talking about the underground scenes in LA, which I just moved here from San Francisco, so I haven't experienced them yet, but I would like to. I know.
Yeah, San Francisco has some crazy
I know.
stuff.
And I've done some of that there, but not here, so I need to talk. I need to get into it more. Okay, we actually have a caller. Let's talk to Anonymous. Let's do that. So, Anonymous. Hey, you're on with Sex with Emily and Skin Diamond. What's going on, Anonymous? Are you there? He wants to know, how do I get my wife to open up about her fantasies? Well, let's try to get this going.
Hello.
Hi, we want to talk to you.
Maybe they got shy.
Oh. We could just answer. Yeah. How do you think? I mean, I talk about this time. What would be your advice to a guy who wants his wife to open up about her fantasies?
Maybe he should try telling her one of his freaky fantasies, and that way she'll feel more comfortable opening up about hers.
Exactly.
Also, maybe right after sex, because everyone's in a great mood after sex, so it's the best time.
It is a good time to talk about after, not during.
Well, sometimes during, but it depends on if it's really freaky and you don't want to spoil the mood, then maybe wait till afterwards.
Right. But a lot of women I find don't, or they probably do have fantasies, but they're not necessarily aware of them, or they don't think like men. A lot of men are like, have a million fantasies. So I also say sometimes a good way to ask her is just to start it slow and say, what's your most memorable time that we've ever had sex together? What's your favorite time that we've ever had sex together? What's your best memory of our sex life? And maybe that's a good way. If she's like, God, that time you threw me on the bed and ripped off my clothes. Well, then he'll know. Okay, so she's into something a little more aggressive. Or she said that time you came home with flowers and dripped them on, you dropped rose petals on the bed. It's whatever it is. Then you kind of get, you kind of can see into her mind and what she's thinking, and it can help open up the dialogue, because
that is a good idea.
So many couples just don't talk about it. They've been together forever and they don't talk about their sex life.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are scared that someone's going to think they're weird, but honestly, everyone has some freaky fantasies.
Right. It's so true. Do you think you've lived out all your freaky fantasies?
I think I've lived out at least all the ones that I've thought about or seen in pornos that I wanted to experience myself.
Like what? Can you name one?
Getting DP'd, double penetration.
Right. Is that amazing?
It's so good. I actually prefer it better than anal sex because it's best of both worlds.
Right, exactly. And are you attracted to the men that were doing it always or not always?
I mean,
honestly?
I always try to find something about them that I like, even if maybe they're not my type, because my type of guys aren't really the kind of guys that you would find in porn. I'm into really down to earth, regular guys.
Right. Right.
Whereas porno guys are usually super buff and whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I just try to find something about them that I like. Like maybe they have nice eyes, or maybe they're really funny and they make me laugh.
Right.
Or maybe they're super strong and can just throw me around. That's always amazing.
I love when guys throw me around. I know.
Totally.
We're small too. How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
Okay, yeah. Well, you're you're little. Yeah, I'm 5'1". So we actually. Oh, he is. Okay, should we talk? Well, we already answered. Okay. Hey, are you there?
I'm there.
Hi. Okay. Did you hear? I don't know if you can hear what you're saying, but you want to get your wife to open up about her fantasies.
Yeah, you know, I think we've just hit a little bit of a plateau, and I feel like I've tried to say a little bit of mine, and then try to pull out a little bit of hers, and I feel like that she's just not. I don't know.
She's not open to it.
She's just thinking other things at this point.
Oh, well, how long have you been together?
What's that?
How long have you guys been together?
We've been married for 5 years now, and together for like 10.
Okay. And what did you share with her? What was your fantasy?
Well, actually, like one of mine is, and something that she shared with me before was, you know, some pee action.
Pee?
And
pee, like urine?
And I'm okay with that. Like, I want to hear more about that. But
wait, can you back up? I don't know if I heard you correctly. What kind of action?
Some DP action.
DP. Oh, DP. Double penetration. We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
So you would want another guy in the room, or you'd want to use like a dildo?
Well, she's another guy.
You'd be okay with her with another guy?
And I'm up for that.
Oh,
that's hot.
Yeah, that's so hot. So she wants that?
She mentioned it before, and I try and like pull it back out of her, and I feel like she's just.
Well, I mean, things like that, if somebody's never done it before, it's going to make anyone feel a little bit nervous, and maybe she just has stage fright.
Right. And maybe you got to ease into it. So maybe if her fantasy is double penetration, maybe you could buy like a great dildo or something, like a butt plug, and start like experimenting so she knows what it feels like. And then you bring someone into the room, maybe.
Plus, if you have sex with her while she has a butt plug in, it feels really good for the guys, too.
Yeah. The butt plug feels good to the guys because they can
feel the butt plug rubbing against them while
which is
they're
a little
inside.
secret. It's like with vibrators. Guys don't realize that the vibrations feel good on them as well.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. So I think maybe you got to change your tactics, how you talk to her. Like, I don't know if you heard what I was saying earlier because we couldn't hear you, but I was saying sometimes a great thing to ask her is to say, what's your most memorable sex experience that we've ever had? What's the favorite time when you think of our sex life, what's the greatest sex memory you have? And if she explains it to you, you know, that time you ripped my clothes off in the alley, or we had, sex in the car, or you put rose petals on the bed, or whatever it is, then you'll know like what in her mind really turns her on and what's memorable. That could be a softer way to get it going.
Or like whisper something dirty in her ear while you're inside of her.
Yeah, does she like dirty talk?
That.
I know, I do too. Does she like dirty talk?
All right.
Yeah?
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay, well, good luck to you. Just keep talking, keep trying, okay? Don't give up on it. You just got to find the right way to communicate to her about it. It's hard. Okay, good luck to you. Thanks for calling Sex with Emily. It is hard sometimes. I'm sure you don't have a heart in your relationships talking about what you want and what you need.
Well, I mean, it's when you do porn, you almost like forget that regular people aren't as open.
Right.
Like, I'll be talking about anal sex really like, blah, 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 and then this happened, and with someone that's not in the industry, and their looks of shock are always really funny.
I know, exactly.
But I don't know. I've always been really open sexually. Like, I remember the way that I found out that I was into breath play was because I was a teenager. There was this boy that we always used to flirt. We never did anything. We never went the full shebang, but he mentioned that he really liked to choke girls during sex, and I remember getting so turned on when he said that, just from him talking about it. And then after that, I really wanted to try it, and so I think it was a while before I actually did try it. But like, it's funny how like just one little word will set something off.
Exactly. A lot of people, women are into the choking. And it's interesting the part about the breath that helps you with orgasm.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, don't do it too hard, guys. You don't have to. Start slow.
You have to be careful because you can't crush the windpipe. there is a way you choke.
Right. How would you describe that way you choke? No, but you have to try it soft and see how she reacts, but you don't want to go too hard.
Yeah,
that's
of course.
true. So I'm wondering, when you do start dating someone, do you think that they do treat you differently when they know that you're a porn star, or you just date these down to earth guys that are pretty cool with it? But do you think at first there's like expectations?
It's
that
funny.
You're gonna have like a sex thing and a stripper pole in your room. I mean, maybe you do.
I do have a stripper pole in my house, but I mean, I'm always upfront about what I do. Usually, guys they know me as a porn star when they meet me. Guys always think that dating a porn chick is super cool. Like the idea of it's really cool, but I mean, it does get hard because the jealousy, guys are like, oh, well, you're going to work and getting banged by all it's hard to be like, oh, so what did you do at work? Right. Oh, I got banged by 5 guys.
Exactly. I lapped up the cum of 9.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is hard I find that too. Men, it's very hard to find a man who's not threatened by what you do.
Yes.
Or who's not jealous that you're having. I mean, you got to find a really confident, which is sexy anyway.
Yeah.
Confidence is the sexiest thing, I think. And someone who's confident in himself, and he's like, I'm cool with that. It's your job. I love you. You know,
because it is a job at the end of the day. I mean, I don't want to most of the guys that I'm banging on camera, I'm not going to hook up with outside.
Right.
I love them on set, but that's the extent
right. That's
of it.
the end of it. So so I want to talk about anal sex now that we touched on that a little bit. It seems like it's very common. Like even in the last 10, 15 years, I think it's because of porn. A lot of people, young kids growing up or whatever, they see it. A lot of guys want to try it, and I feel like a lot of women have bad first experiences because guys just try to shove it in, or they don't prepare them.
Yeah.
And so what would you say are the good do's and don'ts about going through the back door the first time, or if you want your partner to do it, if you want a woman to do it that you're with, what would you suggest?
Well, if you want it to be super magical, I would suggest that the girl clean herself out beforehand to avoid any
go to the bathroom or
enema a little bit. Just lots and lots of lube. Silicone based is better because it doesn't dry out and get sticky and weird. Go super slow, especially if he's girthy.
Right.
Uncut guys are a lot easier to handle, but just lots of lube, go slow, and like you said earlier, with guys for guys with cocks, if she's on top, then she can control it.
Exactly.
And I love anal sex on top because, especially Lexington Steele, who's my arm, I like to go on top with him.
Right. It's true. When you're on top, women on top, or if you're through anal sex, you're in control. And again, use lots of lube, go slow. And again, if you're with a partner who you really want to try anal sex and she's scared about it because she just thinks, oh my God, it's going to hurt. And what I was saying at the beginning is a lot of women have bad experiences because guys just shove it in, no lube. So go slow, and even start with your finger. Even warm her up with your finger.
They also have anal training kits that you can get that are, it's like
beginner
a set of butt plugs, and they start off super, super small and then they get bigger. So you can actually stretch yourself up. I always stretch before a scene because, I'm
stretch your anus before your scenes. It's stretching before a run.
It's like stretching before a run.
Right.
Because some of the guys that I do, I mean, they're huge. That's why they're in porn. And so I have a dilator kit that I always stretch beforehand because there's
How long
also...
beforehand do you have to do it?
I mean, just right before for a few minutes. And I'll usually masturbate with a vibrator at the same time because I find that if I have an orgasm while I'm playing with my butt, then that's because you want your butt to loosen up so that you don't tear. That's always the danger. If you try to stretch it too fast, then you might tear something, and it's pain, and that's when it's super painful.
Exactly.
And you can have problems.
Right. So that is a great tip. Okay, so what about when you are performing oral sex on a man? What are some great tips that I know every woman, that guy's different.
I love giving head. It's actually one of my favorite things to do.
You're like the dream woman. She orgasms all the time. She loves giving head. Okay, so tell me. I know. I like it. So many guys, that's their biggest complaint, is that if a woman just seems enthusiastic about it, they're happy, but a lot of women just aren't. So what do you love about it, and what do you do?
Well, I'm a big pleaser. I love knowing that I'm making someone if someone starts shaking and moaning really hard or whatever because of something that I'm doing, then it makes me wet knowing that I'm getting them on.
Totally, yeah, it turns you on.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, when I suck cock, I just it's like when you're looking at pussy, you know, you don't want to just do the same thing over and over again. Mix it up, like see what he likes. Maybe just like suck on the head for a little bit and then while you're jacking it off, or maybe like flick the tip of it with your tongue while it's in your mouth.
Right.
Or put it right to the back and suck really hard while it's all the way inside.
Yeah,
or
the
something
deep
like
throat.
that.
Exactly. Just keep mixing it up. And then when you find something. And I also say another great way when couples first start dating or people get is mutual masturbation. Like watch it's so hot.
And plus you can figure out how he likes it.
You're like, oh, this is what he does with his hand, and he goes really fast at the end, or whatever it is, and you learn, and then he can see how you do it. It's like I think it should be like a requisite for couples, like a
super
prerequisite.
hot.
Do it right away. I was going to also ask you if you do you have any advice for people? Like, because you've had such a successful career so early on. Like, do you have any advice for someone who wants to start a career in porn?
I think for most men, they should probably have second thoughts, because being a porn star for a man is a lot harder than it looks.
Tell me why.
Because think about it, you got to get hard on command in front of a big group of people who all just want to go home. And then you have to come on command.
Right.
And if you can't, then people are going to be starting to look at their watches and going to put you off more. And so it's a lot harder. And plus you have to have insane amounts of stamina.
Right. And you can't really fake it.
And yeah, with men, you can't fake it.
Right, exactly.
Like if you can't come, then the whole scene is ruined and everybody hates you.
Exactly. There's a lot of pressure.
With girls, I think that a lot of girls think that they can't say no to things. And they get pushed past their limits, and that's what gives them the bad experience. I think a lot of girls, because they're young and like their agent is telling them like, oh, you have to do this, or the director's like, oh, it'll be so much better if you do this. But unless you're comfortable, don't force it.
Right.
And always, like, you know, do your research, try to find the best agent that you can, someone that's going to look after you.
Right. It's so true to have good management, especially in this business. It's very hard.
Absolutely.
And so my other questions for you, God, we've covered a lot here. Is there any other like top sex tips that you have for people that you think they don't already know? Like, what have you learned? We talked about oral sex, we talked about anal sex, but like anything just like overall that you think is like a great tip for everyone to remember about sex?
I think that the main thing that people should keep in mind is don't take it too seriously. It's sex. If you end up, you know, trying a position and you fall over, it's not the end of the world. Just laugh about it and try something else. It's just keep experimenting and have fun. It's playtime for grown-ups. This is like what we get as grown-ups.
Right, exactly. I know it's like the best thing in the world. It's free most time unless you pay for it. But you know, some people do. But I'm saying it's something that you should really just work on and enjoy. How do you feel about massage? Do you like massages?
Oh, I love massages. Who doesn't?
I know. Well, I actually have a present for you.
Ooh,
I have the massage candle line that I just launched. It's called Emily and Tony. You're going to love this.
Nice.
Have you ever used a massage candle?
No.
Okay, so it is this one's coconut. It's made out of soybean oil and coconut oil.
Ooh.
And it burns cooler than most candles. So you burn it and it melts into luxurious massage oil.
Oh,
and it's warm, and you pour it on your partner. And it's like, you can never burn them. It's not hot, and it's not sticky or tacky. And you just, it gives them like a delicious massage. And then I use it in the morning or at night as like a body moisturizer. Because it's coconut oil. And it's all good for you. So I bought it for you.
Thank you so
I brought you one. You're going to
much.
smell it. It's amazing. So, I mean, it looks great. And the thing is about the massage candles too, like it looks great in your home. And for guys, I know it's amazing. For guys, I have to say, like I've tried other brands. I'm like, I wanted to make the perfect massage candle, but they're like all natural ingredients. And also I always think another great sex tip is that, you know, if you're a guy and you got to like light the candles, first of all, they have 3 scents and they all smell amazing. And you don't have to have a massage with it. You could just put it. It could be your centerpiece at dinner. But then you could be like, oh, hey, babe, I just got this new thing. Roll. You know, guys are always like trying to give you a massage. Or women. And it's like, I'm going to rub your back. And like, she's putty in your hands because it feels amazing. So if anyone wants it, they go to emilyandtony.com, use coupon code Emily, and you will get like 20% off, I think, or something. So that's for you.
Thank you.
It. And yeah, you're awesome. So where can people find you? What's your website?
My website is
skindiamondvip.com,
and you can also find me at Twitter at @skin_diamond. And also, for anybody in New York, I'm going to be dancing at Show Palace next week, Thursday and Friday.
Okay,
I'm doing
what's
2
the
shows
dates?
a night. It's the 27th and the 28th.
Okay.
Show Palace, New York. And I'm
You're going to be dancing?
Yes.
What are you going to be doing?
Feature dancing at a strip club.
Oh
so
my God, I love
come
it.
and give me all your dollars. Make it
Get
rain on my
You
booty.
guys, she's so hot. I'm telling you. If you are in New York and you're not there, buy a ticket because she's amazing to watch.
Oh, you don't
And
even
you're
have
such a
tickets. You
talent.
just come to the club.
Oh.
You
Oh
just
my
come
God,
to
then
the
just
club
go.
and pay whatever the cover is.
I love it.
And there you
That's
go.
amazing. So go see. And then what about your singing career? Can we talk about that for a minute? She was
Oh,
singing
yeah.
before we went on the mic. She started singing. I'm like, you have a really good voice.
Thank you. I'm actually working on music right now. It's I shot a scene as a music video for a porno, and that kind of inspired me to be like, oh, well, this was really fun. I'm going to keep going with it. So I've been writing songs and working on all that.
I love it. You have
with my
so much
friends.
going on. You're so
Yeah.
active, and you're wonderful. You have great
Thank
personality.
you.
You just really seem just happy and centered, and you love what you do.
Thank you.
And I love people who love what they do, and you're doing well at it, probably because you love it so much.
I do love it.
You got to be passionate about what you do, people. Find your passion in life. And I so appreciate all your sex tips. And Anderson.
Skin,
yeah.
don't take this the wrong way, but I just thought of a gimmicky thing that you might be able to do to sell albums.
What?
Has there ever been a musician who's recorded an entire album while having sex?
Ooh.
I don't know if I mean...
Like, if you just sit on top of your boyfriend and sing into the microphone. You know what I mean? And it's like this
Serenade him.
entire album was recorded while coital was in process.
That's kind of hot.
Or at least
the
do
music
one
video.
song like that
How
or
about like a
something.
music porn video?
Oh, well, because you know how there's always like a tease premise to pornos, whatever.
Right.
Well, this one particular director, Brando, approached me saying he wanted to shoot the tease as a music video. And then I said, well, I want to write the song. So I went with my friend and we wrote a song together, and then we used it and shot the whole music video. And then you can watch the music video and then it turns into a sex scene.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. Where can people find that?
Brazzers.com.
Okay, browsers?
Brazzers.
Brazzers. Okay. Well, you're awesome. So everyone, you're going to check this out and check out my website because we're going to do a little video right now just so you can check her out, and we're going to give you some highlights of the show. And yeah, thank you so much for being on the show. And Anderson.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're great. I want you to come back again. And Anderson, how are you doing? Tell me about your show. Everyone can check out.
Oh yeah, the Film Vault is doing better than ever. We're fantastic. We talk about new movies, old movies. Film Vault. The Film Vault.
Right.
It's a good show.
Check out his podcast. And thanks, everyone, for listening to Sex with Emily. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Sex with Emily. Email me all your sex questions. feedback@sexwithemily.com. And thanks, everyone, for listening. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com. Bye, guys.
Do you want to last longer in bed? Promescent is the only FDA-approved treatment for premature ejaculation. 1 in 3 men suffer from premature ejaculation. They don't have to. Go to promescent.com to get the desensitizing spray that will allow you to have the sex you deserve.
Perhaps play a little game called Just a Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
Hey, this is Jordan Harbinger, host of the Art of Charm podcast, the #1 dating and relationship advice podcast in iTunes.
I'm Emily Morse, host of the Sex with Emily podcast, the #1 sex and relationship podcast on iTunes and at sexwithemily.com. And this is Just the Tip.
Now, what about switching up the sex a little bit? You know, you've been married for a few years or dating for a few years. I think a lot of people fall into like a routine and they're not having the best sex they can possibly have.
Absolutely. I always tell couples they have to update their sexual bag of tricks. And the couples who have the most amazing and rewarding sex are the ones who actually do mix it up. Because couples, they change, over time, emotionally, physically, psychologically. So you got to push the boundaries a little bit. They crave the excitement, but they don't know what to do. So maybe you bring in a sex toy, or you watch porn together, or you get out of your comfort zone, leave the house, take a vacation. And I'm not like you need a ton of money. You can go, go dog sitting for a friend. I tell couples all the time to leave your house. Stop having sex in the same place, in the same room, the same way.
Just do it. Go right in the front yard.
Whatever it is. Public sex can be hot.
There you go. You didn't hear that from us. We need a disclaimer at the end of that one. If you guys want to learn more from the Art of Charm about dating, relationships, and even networking for business, visit us at theartofcharmpodcast.com or check us out on iTunes and follow me on Twitter at The Art of Charm.
And check out the Sex with Emily podcast at sexwithemily.com and on iTunes if you want to have the best sex of your life, that is. Also, follow me on Twitter at Sex with Emily.